Hello and welcome to another episode. It's now 6 days since my hernia operation and I'm doing well. I'm off the painkillers. So that's a quick update about that. And what's this about? Well, during the run up to my operation, I had to get my wife to learn how to drive to Walsall Manor Hospital. And she only normally drives locally within about 4 miles of Burntwood. And it's been ages since she drove that far. So we did a few rehearsals going my favourite route, but the biggest hurdle was that the bridge at Pelsall Fingerpost Pub over the canal was closed. So you can't go the direct route that we wanted to go. As you can see for the images, there's some heavy works going on there. They've been going on all year and they've recently closed it again. So that forces us to either go down the A5, down to the A34 and go through Bloxwich, or cut through Brownhills, or cut through bits of Stonnell, and then down to the Walsall Arboretum, then up through tons of traffic lights and loads of stop starting on the dual carriageway. The way I always went is the way I go normally, many times when my mum was in hospital back in 2018. So that's our preferred route. So it's just a matter of finding our way back to that route. Being misdirected and redirected around. So I thought I'd set the Satnav in the car up to help her. So I just sat as a passenger and tried to see how she got on. And the problem was the car kept on adapting to conditions based on traffic and whatever the type of route you'd set. So I think by default it'd probably set eco mode and also prefer motorways. So the route in the car by default was sending me down motorways, which she doesn't want to do, and I didn't want her to do either. So then I began to wonder how I could get the car to behave consistently and go the same route every time there and back. So I thought about waypoints or stop-off points in the nav. Now you can go into the navigation and you can set those all up to try and nudge it in the right direction. And then I thought, can I do that from the new Kia app? And I think, yes, you can. So this is what I did. Open the Kia app. And you can either set the route from the first screen, if you get rid of the car and remote control, or go to map. And then you went to the search address. This has already got my recent searches in. So Walsall Manor Hospital Car Park B is the one I go to. So that's my ultimate destination. And then the way to add more stops is to press the route button. And if you press plus there, you can add the stop off point. And the first stop off point is Field Road in Bloxwich, which is on my list there. And then the second stop-off point is Summerfield Road, which is part of the A34 in Bloxwich. So I'll add that there. And then you confirm it. And then you can zoom in to confirm the route. So this should send me to Brownhills, to the big island at Brownhills, over the A5 and the M6 toll, down Lichfield Road, through Brownhills. Then I turn left down Field Road as you come to Bloxwich. And there we are. And Field Road runs parallel with Bloxwich High Street, which gets busy and has more lights. So that's the way I always go there. So my first stop-off point is Field Road. And if I go down, the next stop-off point is designed to make it go right and then left down the A34, which is Summerfield Road. And that Summerfield Road ends up turning into Green Lane, and Green Lane is just off the road, the main road that goes through Walsall. And you go down the end of there, turn right, take the second left, down Pleck Road, and you're at the hospital. So job done. So I sent that to the car, and it sends them as free routes. So I'm just going to show you what appears on the screen. When it arrives at the car, you can go and check in the car to see which way it's going to send you. And set as route. And there's the route it's going to send me. So you can zoom in and see where it's going to send me. Across Burntwood Way and then Chase Road and then Lichfield Road, and there is Brownells Island. Eventually down Field Road, and then the right turn, then the left turn down Summerfield. And there's a hospital, and that's exactly bang on where I want to go. If you leave your phone open on that screen, there's another tip I can give you for the return journey, so I'll come back to that. So on the day before my operation, I thought I'd test this theory to see how it worked for my wife when I wasn't going to be in the car with her. So I sent the route to the car, and as I'm driving there, the car decides it wants to go a different route. It wants to send me through another part of Walsall and down the Arboretum Road. And when I got to the hospital, because I went my normal route, I figured out that it was the preferred or recommended or economic route it was picking up on. So I had to go into my settings to change the actual type of route that was the default. And to change the way the preferred route works, go Setup, Navigation, Guidance, Route Options, and then you've got all your types of routes. I had to put motorway at the bottom to stop it sending it down the motorway. But if you press and hold, it'll tell you what these relate to. So I recommended is the one I figured out it used. So if you press and hold that. Route calculation based on time and distance and prioritising wide roads. 2 is obviously going to be economic. Most economical route. Fastest, obvious. Motorway, obvious. And that's where you change the order around. Anyway, to get it to work with the remote Kia app, the things I sense, it had to be recommended. So that is a key tip. Anyway, as I said earlier, if you leave your phone open on that screen, you've got the opportunity to send the reverse route back. And then there's an arrow with up and down on it. And then, well, you've got to manually drag them to where you want them. So I'll put Walsall Manor at the top, home address at the bottom, and then Summerfield Road. So then it goes Walsall Manor, Summerfield Road, Field Road, home address. And then I confirm that and sent that to the car and then set as route. And the beauty of that was when my wife took me on the Wednesday morning to the hospital to be there for 7 a.m, I got the phone set up and ready and just sent the route to the car just as she left. So it sent her the way to go home correctly. On the day of discharge, which was actually later, 7:30 on Wednesday night after my operation, I could set the route she needed from the phone in the Kia app. And it just worked absolutely brilliantly. So it didn't miss a beat. It told her which way to go in case she didn't recognise anywhere, and it was dark anyway. So I just think it's a brilliant feature. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching.